July 2023, Human Rights Watch published a report or an article demanding the immediate release of deposed President Mohamed Bazoum in Niger. Ladies and gentlemen, as we've said before, these so-called non-governmental organizations are used only as an intimidation tactic against African states, global South states, developing world. Reading through this article, you can see nothing but a condescending tone in this publication. A non-governmental organization is interfering in the domestic politics, domestic issue in a sovereign country like Niger. Ladies and gentlemen, us as African people, us as people around the world should give no credence to this so-called non-governmental organization. In Jamaica, we have this saying, "Duppy know who to frighten," meaning the ghosts know who to scare. The ghosts will scare those that they think is afraid of it. And this is what is happening here. Human Rights Watch is trying to scare the Nigerian authority, trying to intimidate the Nigerian authority. And this is not just coming through Human Rights Watch, from Human Rights Watch, but this is coming, of course, from the imperialists who are trying to put pressure on the Nigerian authority to release their puppet who have been kneecapped by the Nigerian people. In this article, they use a in this article they use a lot of propagandist term, the junta, the so-called CNSP. I think these organizations needs to be exposed. Us South Africa need to stop listening to these or giving importance to these organizations. We would ask Human Rights Watch. They claim about this is affecting democracy in Niger. What kind of democracy does Human Rights Watch want in Niger? Do they want democracy that they've brought to Libya? Do they want democracy that they've brought to Syria? Do they want democracy that have been brought to Iraq? Ladies and gentlemen, us as Africans, it's time that we cut the cards with these so-called NGOs whose only job is to manufacture consent for intervention in our state when we dare defy the imperialists. Human Rights Watch is not publishing the lack of democracy that they see in countries like Saudi Arabia and other Gulf states. They are always trying to intimidate African countries to accept their so-called democracy so they can continue, so the imperialists can continue to loot African states and states that dare defy the imperialists to take control of their own destiny. This is interference in Nigerian sovereignty. This is even inhumane in a sense that they don't see African justice as a thing that can deliver true justice to its people. This is why we applaud the creation of the Criminal and Human Rights Court of the Sahel. Ladies and gentlemen, this video won't be very long. Human Rights Watch has no credibility in the eyes of us African people. We ask that they concentrate on bringing the democracy that was promised to Libya, Syria, and other places that they themselves, the imperialists, has intervened. Thank you.